Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Elk Mountain Mining. Now we're starting off today back at the gravel mine, and the reason for that is I have a few shout outs and thank yous I want to just go through, and the first one was up here at the gravel mine. Now in the last episode you saw we added a ramp, and that was thanks to Kana Gaming, who originally suggested that we put a ramp in. Now I went through and found a few ramps, and if you remember last time, one I put in did not work very well. Well, Nitro Scott in the last video suggested using this ramp. Now this one is from the modular BGA pack, which you'll find in the mod hub. It is a lot wider. It has some sides on it for idiots like me who can't drive straight. Although in saying that, this is auto drive doing all the work. But it does seem to negotiate this much better. We don't have quite that narrow width that we were dealing with. And apart from being a little bit steeper, it does manage to get up here very, very well. Now I think it's the angle that the trailer and that is on. The tip doesn't quite go in the right spot, but it does mean we can get everything up and running. So that was a huge help, and this ramp has definitely made this a lot more of a one-man operation with just the need to do the loading. So thank you to Nitro Scott and obviously to Kana Gaming for those suggestions. Now plan for today is to try and earn some money. Now the first way we're going to do that is in here in the gravel mine. We're going to run a few laps. We've got full on lime, so I've got the other truck is just taking a load of sand up to the train, and it will run back down here and then grab some lime out and head on back to the train silo so we can get that loaded up. We'll get some sand done and then we might swatch over. In fact, sand's worth more. Let's just keep on hauling sand and we'll fill up a couple of carts in the train with sand and not worry too much about the gravel. But one other thing I wanted to show, and this has been a big help in setting things up and just figuring out, if I press Alt and 8 on the numpad, it brings up the production inspector. Now this is a mod that is available on Mod Hub, and it will show you the status of all your production chains. Now you can have it on animals, you can have it on the production chains like we've got, and there was one other that I can't remember off the top of my head. We're obviously most focused on these production chains. So what does it tell us? Well, just looking there at the top one is obviously our gold smelter. Now it's missing materials, and it tells you what incoming materials it is missing. It is missing gold. And we have 900 litres of gold bars sitting there ready to go. The gold washroom obviously has the diesel it needs, 921 litres, 1%, but it doesn't have any concentrate. We'd need to sort that out. And the gold wash plant has no dirt really, 33 litres, 1%, plenty of diesel and a little bit of concentrate there. And as you can see, the lime production is the other way around. It's out of space, so it has pretty much full capacity for storage there. So that is going to be very helpful for today, because I'm going to spend a bit of time running back and forth between the gravel mine here and the gold mine. Now I do want to get up to the gold mine and have a look at a couple of things up there, so we'll just get a few loads going here to keep the stone and gravel crushers in that topped up, and then we'll head up and take a look at the gold mine. So just one other comment I did want to pass another shout out and thank you to someone. This was to Dash Modding. Now he suggested changing the leveling strength, and this relates more to the gold mine where we were talking about using loose material and fill material, because that big bucket was taking a long time to fill. But as he rightly suggested, and I should have thought about this myself, in the Terraform menu you can change the strength. So here under Terraform you can change how strong it is and how strong the effect is. So I had it at 100, you can bump this right up to 200 or all the way down to 10, and that affects basically the brush strength if you're looking at the simple landscaping tools. But in this instance it affects how quickly the bucket will fill up and how aggressive it is on leveling the ground. So at 150 it is a lot quicker than it was at 100. Obviously we could go even quicker with up to 200 if we wanted to, but I think 150 is quite a sweet spot. It gives a good balance between speed and accuracy and realism as well. So we're going to carry on with that. So thank you to Dash Modding. Right, let's get a few loads in here. We'll wait till a couple of the trucks have been and gone, and we'll then head on up to the gold mine. Alright, so we've got the crushers are all topped up and moving, well not moving actually, they are as full as we can get, we can't put any more stones in. So now we've taken some lime out of the crusher, which you might have seen the lime truck turn up and head off, then we are just topping that up with stones again. Not sure how many more that's going to take. In fact, we bring up our little production inspector, we should be able to have a look. So down the bottom there, 96% full on stones, 70% on lime, so we can probably fit a few more stones in, but it's not going to take that whole trailer, I don't think. But that's alright, we'll leave things running there. Now the other truck should be on its way back. We'll go over and have a look, and in fact, there we go, it's just pulling in now. So hopefully it will turn in and go and load up with some more sand. So I think with everything there up and running, it's probably time we head on up to the gold mine, and we'll go and make a start on things up there. We're down here at the gold mine, and I just wanted to show you one other change we have made. Now, Trickster Sabo suggested changing the course through these rocks to a two-way course, and doing so would cause one of the trucks to wait for the other. So you can see we've got the truck coming down the hill, and we've got the truck going up the hill, and he is waiting. So as soon as he gets down here and past, the truck going up the hill will head on down. So I didn't realise having a two-way course like that actually caused one vehicle to wait. So that's very clever how AutoDrive manages that, and a very good solution to not having to worry about trying to navigate through this narrow opening with a course going in both directions. And there you go, so he's gone past and this one's on its way up the hill. Obviously running up empty, which isn't ideal, but that was there to just to demonstrate how that all worked. So thank you very much to Trickster Sabo for that hint and tip. And one last comment here on the T900 Legend Edition. You remember last time we had issues with that trailer creeping. We have got an updated version. This has been re-released, or an update has been released by Carver, I believe is the modder for this, which has, I hope, we haven't actually tested it properly, but is meant to have fixed the creep issue. So we'll certainly put that to the test very soon once we get the tailings truck up and running. But I'm just going to show you in the shop because there was a slight little change which caused a couple of issues for me. So in the T900 Legend pack now, you actually end up with two different trucks. There's the Prime Mover, which is your semi-truck, and your tipper. Now previously, these were all part of the same, so you just specified which deck you had, whether you had a semi-deck with the fifth wheel or whether you had a tipper. Well, now they're split up. When I reloaded the mod, it defaulted the one I already had to the Prime Mover, the semi, so it caused a few glitches with our tipper bins, but nothing I couldn't fix, and there we are. So that is the updated pack. That is one change that you'll notice if you have had it and haven't updated. Just be aware of that. It will affect the trucks you own, but well worth going through and updating it. So good to see that being done, and modders continuing to improve on what they're releasing. Alright, we are down here in the bottom of the gold mine. We are going to start getting our trucks loaded up and get some gold moving through the plant, or at least some dirt moving through the wash plant, and hopefully get us some gold. So we're just going to carry on here. Now I have updated the Terra farm. We are at 200%, so it'll be interesting to see if we notice a big change, a big difference with this. I do still want to get the dozer up the top and try it with just the loose material and see if we can do something a little bit quicker. There's also something else I want to try with both mines, which is to use the equipment down here in the mine to just create a loose pile and then have a conveyor system. So potentially we could excavate or dig out and create a pile of 1 million litres, for example, and then the conveyors automatically feed off that, which would actually automate the process even further. Wouldn't leave us sitting down here waiting for a truck to arrive or anything like that. It would just mean we just keep on digging until we thought we had a good enough stockpile, and then we can go and jump back to the other mine and do the same. That's something I was thinking about doing. We'll see about that maybe in a future episode. But today's mission is to earn some money and be able to get that D10. We've got the truck all ready to go. The D10 is in town. We just need to be able to pay the bill for it. I think it was about $350,000. So one good train load out of the silos down at the train yard will probably just about cover that. So we're just going to carry on here, get this gold plant up and moving, and we'll catch up with you again very soon. Alright, well there goes another truck. I've lost count of how many loads that is. I think it's 6. But if you've been keeping an eye on the production inspector down the bottom, we can't keep up. 2 trucks is pretty much chewing through, or the wash plant is pretty much chewing through 2 trucks worth of dirt at a time. And we are struggling to keep up. I think having the excavator up there and bringing some dirt down's just made it a whole lot quicker. So I think the bulldozer option, pushing some dirt off there, is possibly going to be the better option. If we were to move our auto drive course a little bit closer as well, I think as we've dug into the front of the bank and moved back a little bit, it's a little bit far away, so we could possibly make some changes there and make it a little bit more efficient. But everything seems to be running pretty darn well, even if I do say so myself. So we might just go up there while that other truck's on its way up and just go and check things up at the wash plant. Alright, and there we are, getting another truckload dumped in there. That'll take us up again pretty quickly. What have we got? We've got a couple of pallets of concentrate there to get up to the washroom, and we've also got a truck that hasn't creeped or moved anywhere. Not quite full yet. It does still have some capacity. I think it's about 75%, but it's still in one place, which is nice to see that has been fixed and adjusted. So I think let's just let these 2 trucks run. We'll get them emptied out. But I think we've probably run, looking at our lime production, I think we've run a few loads of lime down. So let's shoot on down to the train, and we might go and see if we can get a load sent off to sell. Well, we've managed to catch the train coming in reverse like it did last time. I was hoping it was going to come in the normal way around, but here it is. So we'll go and jump in. We've got about 170,000 litres of lime, 170,000 litres of sand, and 90,000 litres of tailings to sell. So let's just pop in here. We'll go find some lime. I think we'll fill that up first. In fact, there's the sand. We'll get some sand put into this one. Can't remember which was the 90,000 litre car. I think it might be the front one, which case we'd put the tailings into there. But let's just see what we can get in here and how full we can get it. There we go, 120,000 litres in that car, which is good. Now I think the one behind does look larger, so let's try and put some lime in there. Make sure we've stopped before we try and do that, or it is just going to keep on rolling. There we go, 170,000 litres of lime going into this cart. And that is one of the 90,000 litre carts, so let's just see what the front one is as well. We'll put the tailings into it, hopefully it is a 90,000 litres as well. Maybe it's only the open one, which is the larger. There we go, tailings going in. Now it did have at about, or we'll keep an eye out there when it goes to 50%, is about 45,000 litres. There it is. So this must be 90. Only the larger car in the middle. Alright, there we are, all full. So let's head on off and go and see how much we can make off this load. There we go, $177,000, $414,000 total. So that's enough for us to go and buy a D10 dozer. So let's go and get that sorted, and we'll head up to the gold mine. And there she is in all her glory. That is a very, very sizable dozer. Got the ripper on the back. We might have a use for that coming up. We're just trying to negotiate a contract with someone here in Elk Mountain to do a little bit of work for them. So that might be coming up in a future episode. But that is a good looking dozer. It can move a decent amount of dirt with that blade, I imagine. So let's go and get it loaded up onto the low loader and get it up to the gold mine. And she blows some coal out too when you get her started up. But let's lift that up and we'll go and load her up onto the trailer. Alright, all hooked up, ready to go. Just make sure we've got that lifted up. We know what sort of clearance heights we have with this trailer. So fortunately we don't have to go over the train tracks, but we do have to negotiate our way up the hill to the mine. So let's get to it. Well, so far so good. We're making our way along the lower part of the farms here, along the valley. Flat road's been pretty easy to navigate. We'll just have to be a little bit cautious that the tailing truck isn't on its way down. That can't be too far away from being full and heading down to the train silo. But we should be able to get up here now. It's going to be interesting as we get onto some of these steeper roads as to how this truck handles it. Oh, we're holding almost 20 kilometers per hour. And we should be in miles, but what would that be? Not much more than 10 miles per hour. 12 miles per hour going up the hill. Now I did just check the map to see where the tailings truck might be, and it's actually behind us. It has been down to the silo, emptied out into that, and is on its way back up here to the mine. So we don't have to worry about it coming towards us, but we do have to worry about it catching up to us. But I think that was the steepest section of the road, so we should be home and hosed. Now head up this part past the old burnt ridge and into the gold mine. Alright, we have made it. So next step is going to be navigate down into the bottom of the mine pit. Certainly easier to truck it down there if we can rather than driving it down. So let's see how we go getting down through some of those narrower parts, and it's a little bit rougher on that road. Well, so far so good. That would probably be the hardest part, I think. It should be pretty plain sailing from here on down into the bottom of the pit, and so far no job too big for AG haulage. There we go, made it safe and sound. Right, so let's get to getting this unloaded. Lower the gooseneck down there, get that unhooked, pull the truck out of the way, and we'll go and get the bulldozer taken off the back of the trailer. Alright, we'll gently roll our way off there. No hassles whatsoever. Alright, we'll just park this out of the way. We'll get the truck hooked back up and out of the pit and out of the way from down here, and then we'll go and tackle getting up on top of the pit there and starting to get some dirt pushed down to the bottom. Alright, there goes the truck heading up to the workshop up at the top. No point heading anywhere else. We might need them here later on, we'll see, but hopefully too tight around that corner. Going to get up there. Right, let's jump into the dozer and make our way up onto the top of the pole there. Alright, we're up here in the middle. We've set to terraform to flatten and discharge material, so I'm just going to turn that on there. Get this blade lowered down and see what happens if we just start pushing. Hopefully we'll start to see some dirt. We've just gone and filled that hole. Let's see what happens as we get somewhere a little bit more serious. Start to get some soil pushed here. What happens when we get to the end? Hopefully see it start to go over the edge. Make sure we don't go over the edge. Okay, there we go. It has worked. Not quite as aggressively as I hoped it would though. Let's see if we can get some more laid down a little bit further and get a bit more pushed off there. Might have to be a little bit carefuler when we get to the edge here. Not go too far past. Well, we are getting dirt. I don't know if this is going to work quite the way I'd hoped it would though. Of course we don't have a lower option with the bulldozer. It is flatten, smooth or paint, so this is what we're stuck with. Yeah, pushing, but I think having done this now I'm starting to wonder whether we might have been better off just carrying on with the excavator. We would get 13,000 litres into the excavator a lot quicker than what we're getting this in here. Let's try doing it across the side and see if we can lower down just a little bit more aggressively. Well, it's having a little bit of an effect. You can see we've lowered this front section down here. We've got quite a little dirt sitting up here now. But it is having an effect. It's obviously not pushing the dirt down quite as far as I'd hoped it would. I thought it might have fallen down the edge a little bit more, but I think that's just a limitation with the way the game is and the way fill types are placed. They're not designed to flow, they are designed to sit relative to where they're being placed. So that's why it's stacking up there with quite a steep edge. It does make me wonder if we could actually carve ourselves a track and actually bring the trucks up here and load them from up on top rather than going the whole way down. That could be something we'll do, but I think we need to get the gold plant up and running a little bit more, so we'll jump back down into the wheel loader. We've now at least got the dozer here so we can have a little bit more of a play around with it, try and figure out the best way, if there is a better way. But this is part of what I'm doing this series for, a little bit of trial and error. Let me make the mistakes so you guys don't have to if you're wanting to do some mining too. And equally, if you've got some better suggestions on how to do this, I am all ears. Anyhow, let us carry on. I think that automation that I was talking about a little bit earlier, where we try and get some piles down next to a conveyor or something, could be the best option. Well, I might have got a bit carried away. We've just had a bit of a play here up the side to see if we can get a little bit of a road formed. It's definitely smoother than it was. I wouldn't want to bring one of those big rock trucks up here right now, but that terraced actually quite well. Quite impressed with how that terrace worked, but again, I still think we're better off carrying on with the loader down there, or the excavator. Got that set up here as well. So I'm mindful of where this is in relation to the top of the bank, so we'll jump down and we'll get a few more of these trucks loaded and keep the gold mine moving, get the wash plant back up and running. Alright, we've just got the truck backing up here, the other one's on its way as well. I just thought I'd come up and take a look here. We've got 5,000 litres of concentrate run up to the washroom, and well, we've got 571 litres in the wash plant as well, so no doubt once this gets cleaned, this dirt, there will be a whole lot more. Tailings truck must have been down to the silo again and is on its way back. 17,000 litres of tailings there piling up, which is good. That can go a long way to earning us a little bit more money. So I think at this point it might be a very good place to wrap up today's episode. I know the last couple have been quite a bit longer. I got a little bit carried away with things, but I think instead of going to the effort of getting that concentrate and going and starting that process, that will leave us something to do for next time to get some more gold made and keep things moving. So as always, I hope you have enjoyed that episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.